also heard, and this is not medical, I've heard, in some private discussions about blood compatibility.
Okay.
Between spouses. We've heard of people who have been together for decades and they couldn't conceive, and there was nothing medically wrong with either of them until maybe they separate or the woman goes somewhere else. And
well, theoretically that's possible.
okay.
Yeah. So the commonest thing that people propose is what we call rhesus negative blood group.
Okay.
But that's not responsible for infertility. So this is a good opportunity for me to re-echo that because we have some guys are rhesus positive, some are rhesus negative. Rhesus negativity or positivity does not account for infertility.
Okay.
However, we call something the immune system.
Immune system.
Right. So the immune system of someone may not be compatible with the immune system of the partner. So I'll give you a good example.
Please.
So a lady has intercourse with her husband, and then she comes out with a rash, and she develops an abnormal discharge.
Yeah.
We call it sperm allergy. Meanwhile, that may not happen if she was married to someone else.
Someone else.
Yes. So something as subtle as that. So the immune system at times can overreact to substances from my partner.
Some foreign body.
Exactly. And then that would lead to some form of infertility. But it's not such a common thing.
It's not common.
Theoretically, it's possible.
But we believe that tests will reveal
Exactly.
this kind of thing.
Exactly.
Exactly. Now, what are the predisposition that could lead, or the causes of male infertility? Is it about lifestyle?
Okay,
Is it age? Is it...
So some of these things are genetic. That's how the guy is born. Okay, some of them are genetic. Some of them were things that happened when the guy was young. I'll give you a good example. Yeah, so you can imagine that when the baby is inside, the testes are not in the scrotum, they're in the abdomen.
Okay.
So if the baby is born prematurely, the testes are really not in the scrotum. Okay, so as the baby develops, the testis descends. Unfortunately, at times you have a boy that is born and his testes are still in the abdomen. And if this is not detected before the age of 4, that child can be sterilized. Okay, so I encourage people...
Because the temperature will be different.
Exactly, will affect it. So that can happen. So I'm young and then I'm playing hockey, a ball hits me in the groin, I have testicular pain, I self-medicate, I feel better, that's okay. 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, I begin to have sperm issues. Because
the testes may have been damaged?
Exactly. So those things could have happened. The commonest thing that we know is sexually transmitted infections. Okay, so gonococcal infection, chlamydia infection, herpes infections. These things, when they happen, usually, more often than not, people just take treatment that is not sufficient. More often than not, in our part of the world, they self-medicate. In other parts of the world, a diagnosis is made, and they identify the partner and treat the partner, and they treat other people. Okay, but if I don't get an optimal treatment, that infection is there, and it causes scarring in my reproductive tract.
Whoa.
Such that 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line, I can have an issue, a sperm issue on my hands.
Oh dear.
Yes.
So, not feeling discomfort or pain is not enough.
Exactly, it's not enough.
To determine whether the STD has been properly treated.
Yes, it's not enough.
So it may just be there, breathing
exactly.
and living.
Exactly.
And then destroying the reproductive tract.
Yes.
What are the other things? I've heard things about food, drinks.
Yeah, so other things that we know, lifestyle changes.
Lifestyle.
Yes. Okay. Right now, we know that there was a recent paper I read in Europe. It says 1 in 4 men, in that paper was a Danish paper, 1 in 4 men have abnormal sperm parameters. 1 in 4. Okay.
25%.
Yes, 25%.
That's huge.
Yes. A friend of mine did a similar study in Nigeria, and he worked in the fertility practice. That practice started in 2003. So he compared 1,000 sperm samples in 2003 with 1,000 sperm samples 10 years later, 2013, and found out that 10 years later, all the parameters were less. The counts were less, the motilities were less, the morphologies were less, the percentage of damaged genetic materials were higher. Okay, and so we're saying what I'm saying is that what we're having in Africa correlates to what's happening in other parts of the world. Yeah. So we're saying that radiations.
radiations can
Radiations.
also destroy the sperm count.
Yes, so radiations, we carry phones around, we have radioactive materials all over the place.
All over the place.
All this can contribute to that.
Refrigerator, microwave oven.
Exactly.
Even in our cars these days.
Yes,
right?
laptops on my laps, all of those things are frying the testes. So we also know, so those are issues. Then generally we think that their weights are increasing because our lifestyles are more sedentary. And when our lifestyles are more sedentary, we tend to gain more weight.
True.
And when weight comes in, some hormones in the body are metabolized in an abnormal way and they affect sperms.
Oh dear.
So good lifestyle habits. So we're talking about eating healthy.
So obesity could also...
Oh yes, definitely.
Oof.
Definitely. So obesity will affect erection. Erectile dysfunction will be an issue. Medical problems, diabetes, hypertension will be an issue. It can also affect fertility also.
The quality, quantity, and performance of the sperm.
Exactly.
Oh dear.
Exactly.
I've heard things about alcohol.
Yes. Okay, fine. So still talk about lifestyle issues. So we have alcohol, we talk about cigarette smoking, we talk about hard drugs. Okay? We talk about heroin, cocaine, we talk about sushi. I've heard of sushi. Okay? I've heard of squishy. Okay, so all of those things, some of those things we don't even know what is in there.
We don't know the components.
Exactly.
But we just put them in our system.
We don't know what's the component. But you see, that's even far. Let's look at things that we do every day. Rice. This rice that I just cooked this afternoon, maybe it was harvested in Thailand 7 years ago.
True.
And
I've read about that.
And the cost was down then. Now they kept it for 7 years. Now the cost is up there, now pushing it out.
Or because it's nearing its expiry date,
pushing
they
it out. So they've preserved the chemicals for 7 years.
With chemicals.
And that's what I'm taking into my system. So we think all of these things are contributing to the increasing infertility rates, which is why we're talking about organic lifestyle.
That people should go more with organic food.
Exactly. So more natural. So we should go natural.
So these preservatives, canned foods.
On the long run, it's not in our best interest. On the long run, it's not.
So these are some of the factors. I've also heard things about the kind of pants you wear and the undies as a man.
Yes. Yes. So
how true is this?
To a large extent, that's true. Then because the testis is outside the body for a reason. Because the temperature should be cooler. All other organs in the male body is inside. The testis is outside for a reason because it stays better. It does its work better when it's cooler.
When it's cooler.
So when I wear nylon underwear, the aeration is poor. I'm more likely to sweat down there.
True.
And then temperature is likely to go up.
True.
So these have been shown.
Or tight underpants.
Yes, tight underpants. Yes.
What about cycling?
Prolonged cycling. If it's more than 2 hours, yes.
Prolonged cycling.
Because under there, I get heated up. And then that can predispose to sperm issues.
Wow.
Yes. Then we talked about sauna baths. So I stay in a bath for 1 hour, for 2 hours in the hot water. So of course, all of that time, my testis is also in that hot water.
Yeah, it's boiling.
Yes, so it is also not advisable. So these are subtle things that on the long run will affect our fertility.